Jacob Ryan Navarre was killed on April 3, 2014 in a senseless drunk driving accident. 16 years old and a junior at Arcata High School, Jake was returning home from wrestling practice when his vehicle was hit head-on by an intoxicated motorist. He died on impact. Every 15 minutes is a program that basically educates high schoolers about the dangers of drunk driving, and also educates them about the results of what can happen as a result of driving drunk. What we've been doing for the past 2 hours is going into classrooms with a Grim Reaper and an officer and pulling a student out who represents somebody who's been killed in a DUI-related collision. After the Grim Reaper pulls the student out of the classroom, then an officer reads an obituary of the student. Out in front of the high school, we're going to set up 2 crash cars. It's going to look like a real scene, like a real collision scene. You know, it's going to be obvious to them that it is a simulation. They'll come out, they'll sit at the bleachers, they'll stand along the edges, and then from that point, there's going to be bodies on the road with a significant amount of trauma that we've had some HSU students do up on them. So it's going to be a traumatic scene. You know, even us as first responders that are going to be going out to it today, it's going to look very real. Once the students show up, there's going to be a 911 call that goes out.
No. Okay, you said you need an ambulance?
Yes, there's blood everywhere. One of them's on the ground.
Okay, ma'am.
And then the first responders will come out, and we're going to handle it just like we would any fatal crash. And so the students and the faculty are going to be able to see start to finish how we do a collision. And it's going to be students that they know. It's going to be their friends out there. And you know, what we've seen from these programs is it doesn't only affect the students that are involved, but it affects the whole school. It affects the faculty. It affects the first responders. We know several of these kids personally. And it affects the whole community.